you can how do I explain this? You can play local multiplayer,
Yeah.
but like actually that's a bad example because there's a lot of multiplayer and local multiplayer in that game. Okay, there you go. Let me rephrase that. I'm sorry. Edit this out, mascot.
I won't, but go ahead.
No, do
All
it.
right.
All right, so in a quick nutshell about how at least I got started with Red Eye. I came to Miami in '97. Didn't really know anybody, at least no one my age. Everyone was like in their 80s or something. And I was like, man, I really want to find a place where I could play video games. You know, I played video games back in Chicago, and I just wanted to come out and play some video games. So I was like, all right. And I got a computer, and I think the first game I got was Duke Nukem. And I was like, all right, I need to find a place where I can play this game. And I ended up going on, I think it was Alta Vista, and I searched
Oh,
for,
damn.
yeah, I searched for online gaming or playing online with Duke Nukem, something to that effect. And Duango popped up, and I was like, Duango, what's this? And basically it was a service in the same vein as like GameSpy, Cali, Heat, that allowed you to hook up with other people so that you could play online games.
Welcome to GameSpy.
Yeah. And I went into the channel for Miami, and I met, like, the first people I met was like Danny and JB. And it was so funny because there was, like, we would play Duke Nukem, and I was playing against this person, JB, who I originally thought was like a little kid. And, like, he'd, like, kick my butt and, like, talk shit in chat. And I'm like, who is this little motherfucker, you know? And, you know, we started meeting other people, and they're like, hey, we're going to have this LAN party. It's going to be the first one. Why don't you come on out? It's in a warehouse. And I'm like, a warehouse?
Yeah, come on by. Let us
Yeah,
collect your
come-
kidneys.
Yeah,
You're gonna get murdered and raped, and not in that order.
yeah, exactly. But, you know, I figure whatever. Big black guy, right? So, I mean, they should be afraid of me. That's what I'm thinking. So I show up, and it was a bunch of, like, very cool people. Like when you normally meet people, especially, like, let's say if you're in college or high school, and you might have people that want to be some jerks. It's like pretty much everyone there was cool. And from there, ever since, it was just awesome. I mean, Red Eye went on for many, many years, and I met so many cool people through Red Eye, people that I'm still friends with today. And from that extension, I also ended up going to Alienware, and then from Alienware, I met Ignacio, and then we hooked up with Obsolete Gamer, and the rest is history. But I know, Mark, you were even, like, younger, because I was already 20.
I was too young to even join Red Eye by a few years, but I got really lucky because I went to my mom's Christmas party, and Bobby and Danny worked with my mom at her company. So
Oh, yeah.
I was lucky that I saw them sitting in a corner, like while everybody else was partying and eating. They were in a corner playing Counter-Strike Beta and Action Half-Life. And I had played Counter-Strike, but I'd never played Action Half-Life, so they're showing it to me. They're like, and I was talking to them about games like Tribes and games like StarCraft, and they were teaching me about TA, Total Annihilation, and I'd never played that. And they're like, wow, this kid's, I was 15 at the time, you're supposed to be 18 to get into Red Hat. And they were saying, like, wow, this kid's really, he's really mature, we know his mom, we know that, so, like, we know that he's in good hands, so let's invite him to Red Hat. I'm like, you guys would invite me to your LAN party? He's like, yeah, you guys can come. I mean, it was up in Hollywood, which is about 45 minutes from where I live, and almost an hour drive. But my mom was cool enough, and she said, sure, I'll take him. So I remember my first Red Eye, I woke up at 6 in the morning to go to school. I was in high school. I got out of school. What the fuck is going on, JB?
You don't want to know?
Oh my god. It sounds like you're taking a 20-minute long piss.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing dishes.
Yeah, he said he was doing dishes, but it's funny.
Anyway, so I didn't get to Red Eye till about maybe 7 o'clock the first night, 6, 7 o'clock the first night. All I remember is a blur and then not falling asleep until I got home Sunday at around 2 in the afternoon.
Wow.
So it was from Friday at 6 in the morning to Sunday at 2 in the afternoon. I did not sleep a single wink. Even when other people went home to sleep or like fell asleep before, I was up just like searching servers of God knows what, and like because I'd never hooked up my computer to anybody else's computer and saw everything that was on my computer, you know, Wesley Willis and all that shit.
Jeez.
So that was my first LAN party experience with Red Eye, and I was fortunate that I was three years under the minimum age to get in there, and I was there. But I was, I think, more mature than some of the people who were in their mid-20s there anyway, so it didn't really matter. They gave me shit for being the kid.
And look how you've grown up into such a strong, strapping man. It's all thanks to Red Eye.
And just to show how long ago this was, I'm going to be 30 in a few months. So that was I've known all these guys for over 15 years.
Wow.
What about you, JB? Tell us about your first experience with Red Eye.
Oh man, mine was extremely horrible. It was bad. I mean, when I started like learning about computers and networking, I ended up learning it through school. Like my parents were too broke to buy me stuff, so I had to buy it all on my own, you know?
Yeah.
And the best part that I love about starting in the whole computer thing, you know, I remember talking to my old man about it. It's like, hey, I want to learn about computers. He's like, man, I don't want you to do that. You know, I want you to be an electrician. And I'm like, I don't like to work in the field. You know, I want to try this whole computer thing and forget it. Yeah, you know, he's just giving me the weird look, like, man, that's like sorcery. I don't want you, you know, doing that at all. And I conned him on my first purchase. I told him, hey, you know, this is gonna help me, you know, be a better electrician down the road if I know this stuff, kind of like an engineer. And he's like, oh yeah, that sounds good. And he ended up buying me my first, you know, little PC. And me being the destructive person that I am, I ended up burning it like a month later, tearing it apart, figuring out how it works. And the first game I ever played, I remember right now, it was a Tandy 1200. Remember that crap?
Holy shit.
Yeah, baby. 4 megs of RAM, 8 megs of video. Oh, yeah. 14.4 baud rate modem. And playing Chuck Yeager. Some kind of like a flight
game,
simulator.
Dude.
Remember that?
Wow.
I have it still.
And then little by little, I ended up, you know, buying upgrades for it, and you know, it kind of grew into like this big hobby. And just like Jose, you know, he was looking for a place where, you know, to play a online game with other people. I did the same thing. You know, I went online, and through a couple of BBS forums, I ended up finding out about Dwango, and I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of neat, you know. And it connected you to everybody locally in that area, which is what I enjoyed the most. I was like, yeah, let me try that. And eventually that's where I ended up hooking up with a lot of the people that got Red Eye started in the first place. And the first party that I was ever invited to, you know, I was less than 16, I think, at the time.
Oh, man.
And my mom is like, where are you going? And I'm like, oh, it's a LAN party. She's like, what? ¿Qué es eso? You know, like, she don't know what the heck it is. And I'm like, it's just, you know, a place you take your computer and you hook it up and you try a whole bunch of new stuff. And she's like, I don't know, man. I don't like that idea.
She's like, they're going to steal your fucking computer.
Yeah, that's what she's thinking. You know, they're going to mug you, you know. You're going to come back home and you're not going to have, like, you know, anything. I'm like, it's all right. I got 2 kidneys. All I need is 1. And I tell you right now, she never let me let me go to that first Red Eye by myself. She ended up driving me there, and she sat in the room with all of these people. I walk in and knock on the door, and the person who opens, remember Chef, opens the door. Hey, what's up? I'm like, hey, what's going on? You know, it's Snoopy at the time, you know, and it's like, oh, hey, what's up? What's going on, JB? And I walk in. My mom is right behind me, and like for the first 4 hours, she's sitting on the couch just looking at what's going on until she figures out that, all right, you know, they're not going to turn my kid into soap, you know, I guess I'll go.
Soap. Fucking Fight Club shit.
Almost the same shit happened to me. But when I told them I was a lurker, they were like, get the fuck in there.
Yeah. And it's hilarious because she didn't even let me bring my PC the first time around. She just would not allow it. And I ended up using Chef's PC the first time around because, of course, she didn't let me bring my own rig. And that's how I ended up getting into the whole online gaming.